Sometimes people shy away from hearing the truth, not because they can't handle it, but because it threatens the comforting illusions they've built. As Friedrich Nietzsche once observed, illusions often serve as emotional shelter. You were taught to believe love would rescue you, that it would be pure, healing, and unconditional. You were told that the right woman would mend the wounds you've carried since childhood. From fairy tales to lyrics to bedtime promises, the idea was gently planted in your subconscious. One day, someone will come along and make everything feel whole, and you held on to that belief, not because you're naive or foolish, but because no one ever gave you the tools to see past the fantasy. But what if that promise was never intended to be fulfilled? What if the love you've been seeking isn't a remedy, but a form of psychological strategy? And what if Nietzsche, the very philosopher you've been warned was too dark or pessimistic, actually saw this all with brutal clarity? Nietzsche didn't write comforting tales. He wrote like a scalpel cuts, piercing through masks, myths, and the emotional comfort zones we wrap around our egos. When he examined love, women, and human connection, what he saw wasn't gentle. It wasn't sugar-coated, but it was truthful. And many, especially men, still aren't ready to face that truth. Let's be honest. If you're a man today, you've been conditioned to search for your worth in a woman's eyes. You've been told, both subtly and outright, that your value depends on how desirable you are to women. Not just physically, but emotionally, financially, socially. You were raised on the idea that your story doesn't truly begin until she arrives. That your loneliness is just an uncomfortable intermission before love makes its grand entrance and rewrites your life. But Nietzsche would have laughed at this. Not cruelly, but knowingly. He saw how deeply men deceive themselves, how they turn women into salvation figures instead of flawed, complex individuals. You don't see her. You see what you need her to be. A cure for your emptiness. A reason to stop feeling lost. A soft hand to lead you out of the emotional void. And when she doesn't live up to that fantasy, when she has flaws, when she grows distant, when she doesn't love you the way you thought love was supposed to feel, you don't just feel disappointed. You feel betrayed. Not by her, but by the idea. The illusion you clung to begins to crumble, and it hurts. It feels like abandonment, like the universe breaking its promise. But Nietzsche would say, that was never her role to play. She was never meant to be your savior. She is not the missing piece of your soul. She is another human being, just as lost and layered as you are. And here's the hard part. Maybe the part no one told you, your healing is your responsibility. That aching loneliness inside you, it's not a sign that you haven't found the right woman. It's a sign that you haven't yet faced the truth about yourself. You're still hoping that someone else's love will silence your inner chaos. But Nietzsche warns us, love, especially the kind we idealize, often disguises our deepest insecurities. It gives us a beautiful mask to wear, while underneath, the wounds continue to fester. So, ask yourself, are you really in love with her? Or are you in love with the escape she promises? You want love to fix you, but real love doesn't fix. It reflects. It holds up a mirror to your face and says, this is who you are, unfiltered, unfinished, unhealed. And that's terrifying because most men have never truly seen themselves. You've spent years being told to be strong, to achieve, to win, to suppress. You were rewarded for silence, for endurance, for pushing your pain deeper until even you forgot where you buried it. So now, when someone tries to get close, you don't know how to let them in. You say you want intimacy, but when she reaches for your soul, you flinch. You don't know how to be seen. Nietzsche didn't believe in romanticized love. He saw that most of what we call love is actually dependency, fear of loneliness, a hunger to be validated. We confuse possession with connection. We want to be chosen more than we want to be understood. But understanding, that's where the real work begins. You think heartbreak is the worst thing love can give you. It's not. The worst thing love can give you is the truth. That you were never whole to begin with. That what you call love is often just a strategy to avoid confronting your own shadow. That your obsession with being loved is really a fear of being alone with yourself. So you chase relationships, not because you're ready, but because you're afraid. You ask her to save you from a battle she can't fight. the battle with your own emptiness. And Nietzsche would whisper, "Good, let it hurt, let it strip you down, let the illusion burn." That's how you find your will to power. Because when you finally stop asking others to complete you, you begin to build yourself. Not as a half looking for a whole, but as a man willing to meet himself in the ruins and rise. Alone, yes, but finally real. You think healing will make you happy. That one day you'll wake up and the weight will be gone. The memories will be quiet, and you'll finally feel okay. But Nietzsche would laugh at that lie. Because healing isn't about feeling better. It's about becoming stronger. No one tells you this. Real healing feels like death. The death of your old beliefs. The death of your illusions. The death of the version of you that kept you safe but small. And that version doesn't die peacefully. It claws. It screams. It begs to stay. You'll start to realize that most of your pain came from trying to be someone you're not. From bending, shrinking, pretending. From swallowing your voice just to be accepted. And when you finally stop lying to yourself, you'll feel empty. Because all the roles you played, they were masks. And once you rip them off, you're left with something terrifying, your true self. And he's not polished. He's not perfect. He's raw, bruised, unapologetic. But he's yours. Nietzsche believed that becoming who you truly are requires suffering. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. That chaos you've been running from is not your enemy. It's your potential, waiting to be faced. You say you want peace. But peace without power is just numbness. You say you want love. But love without self-respect is just surrender. You say you want truth. But truth will wreck you before it remakes you. This is the fire. And no one will walk through it for you. But if you do, if you endure the loneliness, the confusion, the brutal honesty, then what comes out the other side isn't just a man. It's a force. Not healed. Not perfect. But whole. You were taught to chase comfort. To avoid pain. But comfort breeds weakness. And pain is the sculptor of the soul. Nietzsche called it, to live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. You keep asking, why me? The real question is, what will you become because of this? No one grows from the easy days. No one is forged in joy. Strength is born in silence. In nights when you cry without reason. In mornings where you get up without hope. And yet you move. That's not weakness. That's will. You keep waiting for someone to save you. But no one is coming. Not your parents. Not your friends. Not in the way you imagine. Because the savior you're looking for is you. People won't understand your darkness. That's fine. You weren't born to be understood. You were born to understand yourself. To tear yourself apart and rebuild with your own hands. That's the path of the Übermensch. The one who creates meaning in a meaningless world. You'll lose people. A lot of them. When you stop pleasing. When you start speaking truth. They'll fall away like leaves in winter. Let them. This world worships the fake. But Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Your why won't be found in validation. It will be found in solitude. In becoming dangerous. Not violent but capable. Capable of facing yourself without flinching. That's when you stop needing anyone to complete you. Most men live asleep. They follow rules they never questioned. They hate their jobs, fear their wives, numb themselves with distraction. But you were meant to wake up. Waking up means seeing things as they are. It's painful. The truth is ugly. But it's real. And once you taste it, there's no going back. You won't be able to tolerate the fake smiles, the lies, the cheap dopamine. You'll crave something deeper, something eternal. And that craving, that's the beginning of your real life. One day you'll look back and realize the pain didn't break you. It birthed you. The man you used to be, he died 1,000 times. In heartbreak, in failure, in loneliness. But every time something stronger took his place. Not bitter, not hollow, but aware. You're not here to be liked. You're here to become undeniable. That's the tragedy and the glory of being awake in a sleeping world.